Welcome back, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, to another brand new video. Today again, second video. I'm recording this in Manasarovar, Lake Manasarovar, and here talking about the mystical aspects of Manasarovar, exclusively talking about this lake. What I've seen as the second day that I'm here, what I've perceived, what's happening here, and what I can share you specifically about what happens here at 2 a.m., like Sadhguru has said. So, what is this lake? This is a crazy lake. That's the best way of describing it. That's how Sadhguru has described it. It's a crazy lake primarily because Shiva, the Adiyogi, lived here. His home is just a few kilometers away from here, what we call Kailash. And that's a storehouse of knowledge. So because of that fact, most likely, beings from elsewhere, beings from a different dimension, we live in a third dimension, we have a physical body and we can manipulate the physical matter around us. These beings either live in a totally different dimension than us, most likely, or they go to some planet that's outside of our solar system, galaxy, or maybe even universe, and they live there in the physical bodies, or some third completely unknown explanation. So these beings are for some reason choosing to come down here. For what? To get a drink of water? I have no idea what they're doing here. Sadhguru has gone more into depth of what he sees is happening here, but I don't know. I'll need to spend a significant amount of time here for me to perceive the whole thing, and I don't want to do that, or at least I don't have the time to do that. It's not practical. So today I'm leaving. But what else have I seen? These beings don't have a physical body like you and I. They have an energy body. They are like ghosts. A ghost is not the right description, but maybe you can understand what a ghost is. I'm sure you do. This is like a ghost. It's just an energy form. It's just an energy manifestation. It's like when you burn incense, energy is created through the incense, if you can see that. Well, they're kind of like that. They're just energy beings. And they're falling into this lake, like, whoosh, they go down, stay for some time, weeks, days, seconds, months, I don't know, and then poof, they go up back again. So there's a huge yes, this is happening, and it's happening basically constantly. It doesn't end. They're doing something. They're busy here. I don't know what they're busy with, but they're busy doing something. Sadhguru has said that they're responsible for making us, possibly, potentially that's the case. So they're here tweaking things, working on things, being next to this mountain. They have a fantastic resource to do whatever they're doing. I don't think it's within the human grasp to really understand what they're doing. Maybe if you really pay attention for years. Or you have to not be a human being anymore, which we all know what that means. I'm not interested in doing either, because this is not part of life as a human being. They have their own projects. I don't go and examine ants. Hey, ants, what are you doing? Oh my God, fascinating. Well, I can do that, but at what consequences does that have to me? It doesn't really have any ultimate consequence to me to see what ants are doing. Well, these are not ants. These are something totally different than ants. They're more evolved than us, and they're doing something. And it's fantastic because it's on Earth and they're doing these things. In one of my previous videos, I said that this is not a spiritual place, and still I somewhat stay true to those words, but I want to refine this a little bit, because let me just make myself a little platform here, because I stood in a hole. This is not really a spiritual place. It is a spiritual place in the sense that it's a mysterious place. It's something that you can't fathom, you can't understand. If you just have a little bit of eyesight, just the sheer energy of this lake is overwhelming. Wow. How is this happening? What is this? You just want to eat it. You just want to drink it. It's like so juicy. When you go deeper, even more fantastic things are happening. So this makes you become aware of the possibilities of life. This makes you break away from your human shell, thinking that we're the most evolved beings on the planet and we're this and that and the other thing. No, we're not. And this just breaks you out of that. Oh my God, wow, look at that. They're going somewhere else. and they have somewhere else to go to, and they're doing something else way above the human planet. That's fantastic. I'm sure they're not going to share their secrets with me, or maybe they do. I don't know. But they're here. They're here. They're walking around. They're. It's quite incredible because also this is what Sadhguru said, and I also feel this is true. These types of beings that don't belong to the human realm, they're kind of a little bit shy. They don't really go into your space unless it's really necessary, required. Unless you do lots of work for them, or you give offerings to them, or you have devotion with various gods and also with spirits and deities and entities. They don't really bother about you, and if they do, it's like, okay, what do you want? And so in a sense, they're kind of shy. Well, this is the complete contrast to that. These beings are not shy at all. It's like, if you're a gymnast, maybe you go to the gymnastics place and you kind of do your abilities and everyone watches and claps. But there's one wild gymnast that just does gymnastics wherever. They see a person, don't see a person, they just join gymnastics. And very vigorously, very intensely. And you'd be like, oh my God, he's showing off. That's what they're kind of doing here. They don't care whether you see them or you don't see them. They're just freaking diving into the lake, diving back out, jumping in, jumping out, flying wherever they are. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, I'll wait for these people to pass. You watch my view.
Hey, don't go there. Ông nga nga dapat at depan lah. Careful lah.
Above the lake, because of the activity here, there's a tremendous amount of energy, like static electricity, just above the water. And also, yesterday as I was driving the bus, we were driving around the lake to circulate it clockwise. I was looking out the window and I saw lights. This wasn't my spiritual senses again. I'm pretty sure this was just my physical, like, lights. And what I think this is happening is my guess. And maybe the lights were playing a trick, the bus's lights, or static electricity from my doing something with the window or something else entirely. Maybe that's not happening, but I'll just share with you whatever is coming across. That because because of the energy of these beings, because of sheer force, and because their activity picks up maybe at some times of the night, especially when the transition occurs in the planet and it's easier for them to come in, it's like an open doorway, or it's rush hour for them, let's say, their activity becomes much more forceful and intense. And because of that, their energy becomes almost physical. And as the intensity grows, light, just little pockets of light explode. Oh my God, look, there's a little shining star, it looks like. There's a little firefly that just went out. There's no fireflies here, but this is how it is. So I was very excited to see this at 2 a.m. I set an alarm for 1:44 a.m. and I quickly hurried out of my bed and I came here and I recorded a video and hoping to see something. Well, definitely I noticed that the light, the energy of the lake transformed. It kind of like turned on. Someone just turned on the switch and a massive wave of energy came over me, or came through the whole thing. Oh, okay, something's happening here. But in terms of lights or in terms of what Sadhguru has seen, I haven't seen that today or yesterday or today night. Why is it the case? Well, maybe because I don't doubt or judge Sadhguru's perception. I'm sure that it's accurate. Maybe it's because this isn't happening today. Maybe it's because I'm not attuned to these things I can't see, which is not what Sadhguru said. This is like a physical perception. Like with your eyeballs, you can see lights. Maybe because it's too early in the day or too late in the day or night that this is happening, and I just didn't come at the right time. Maybe it's because I don't know. I came with expectations and something happened with that. I have no idea. I can't make complaints about this. I really wanted this to happen, but unfortunately nothing happened. So I just got to see a glorious lake in the moonlight last night. Another thing, again, as I said, it'd be better for me to go here without anyone telling me anything and then me figuring out for myself, because it's the smartest way of doing it. That's the most safest way of doing it. But I've watched various videos by Sadhguru and him talking about this place, so I'm going to basically attempt to reconstruct some of the ideas that he said. He said that these beings have a human form in part, and I sense this is true. They have a human form somewhat, or the top part is human. Definitely they have some humanness to them, and their bottom part is some fish, some little nothingness, some translucent thing. And this is the closest thing that I see. As far as he says that they're in bunches, and I don't know that, I don't see that, I don't see exactly what is they're like that. But also something very interesting that he said is that they are following their tendencies. And as I was driving, something happened, and I saw this being just kind of came across towards my location. And feeling this person or feeling this being and kind of seeing what he is and thinking about him, it's like you stimulate his body with feeling or sensation or stimulation, whatever, and then he goes there. Doesn't think about it. It's just his body is moving. So they're like that. Anyways, this is phenomenal. This is fantastic. This is not worth talking about, actually, because what ultimate consequences? This is just fairy tales. I'm just telling you a little fairy tale. Hey, once upon a time there was a lake and it had crazy beings, and believe me or don't believe me, or they flying around back and forth. And it's a little airport for them. Who cares? What does that do? Nothing. Nothing. It doesn't do anything. So I feel a little bit kind of awkward talking about this because it doesn't matter. And maybe you think I'm making things up. Maybe I am making things up. I don't know. But nonetheless, what's factual, what's true, it doesn't matter who you are. Anyone that comes here spends 1 or 2 days, you will feel a distinct difference between the water. It's not like any other water that you've ever seen on planet Earth. For sure, it's not like any other lake. Because lakes are, oh, it's a nice lake. This is like something else. Oh my God, what is that? What is this? It's a spiritual lake. It's like, I don't know, God came here and bathed, and the whole energy just kind of like that. It's God's bathhouse. So do with that whatever you will. How does that help you to transform your life? I don't think it does. It doesn't. Sadhguru said that he opened up his body to some possibility in his stomach and let this being come into him to trap him and to take him back home and to do some experiments with him. And he got so restless, like, oh my God, I can't do this. And he almost burned his stomach because of that. So Sadhguru let him go. And I also sense and feel this is true. They're only to this place. They're not going to go wander around to your house, or because you called them, they're going to come and wish you a happy birthday or whatever they're doing. No, they're very particular about this place. And this is like literally an airport for them. This is the best way of describing it. They're coming and going. What are they doing here? I don't know. They're doing some kind of work. But they're coming and going, landing, diving into the water, diving back out. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's amazing. So they're a particular type of life. They're not going to be wandering around this place. In fact, there's a second or a third lake, not the 2 lakes that are close to each other, this Manasarovar and the other big lake. A smaller lake just on the road towards Kailash and Manasarovar. I also saw some activity there. So something was also happening there. It was a distinct quality of the lake, very similar to this, or maybe a little bit similar to this, where beings again, kind of falling and going out. So I don't know what they're doing. And this is just a fascinating thing to talk about. This is a mystical place. This is a mysterious place. You're not going to figure this out. At least I don't think I'm going to. I don't want to figure this out. I don't really care. Because what ultimate consequences does it have for me? If they come and tell me everything, all these things, I'll gladly listen. I'll open my eyes. But I'm not going to pursue this because it has no consequence to me. It has no benefits to me. It has nothing to do except maybe I'll have a nicer story to tell you. Hey, do you believe that in Manasarovar there's these things and they're happening inside and they're doing this and that? Oh my God, wow. It's basically gossip. Hey, you want to gossip about spiritual things, mystical things? Who cares? If, I'm going to Kailash. That's a place where I really want to explore and delve into because that has massive consequence for me. So coming here was just a nice treat. Seeing where Shiva probably took a swim once in a while. This was his bathhouse. And in Shiva's backyard, and also bathed. I bathed in the water. I put my feet inside yesterday, as well as I took a shower with some hot water that they took from the lake to help us swim with it. So that's good. And let's say some final things before I close this video and I leave Manasarovar for good for this trip. Let's see. Like I said, my friends, this has no ultimate consequence. It's just a fun little entertainment. But what does have consequence is your perception and your ability to see these things. Your ability to perceive and look into life, look into different situations, look into this lake, for example, and see exactly what's going on. Can I see exactly what's going on? No, I can't, sadly. Because some of the things that Sadhguru said align with what I feel and what I sense, what I see. But a lot of things that he says, I can't see, I can't perceive, I'm not looking deep enough. And it makes me wonder how capable Sadhguru is, how much he can see, how fantastic his perception is, that he can just come here, open his eyes, sit, meditate for some time, and he can pretty much know all of the, at least the physical, tangible things that are going on here, what's happening, how these beings are flying. Because if you didn't come and tell me these things, it would take maybe a week or so for me to really start paying attention to this, because it's just a nice crazy lake. That's what I would have thought. It was a nice crazy lake. Maybe I'd have seen something, oh, there's some things flying out of this. And then to look deeper and deeper and deeper, well, it takes kind of involvement and desire to do that also. Which, the point that I'm trying to make is that Sadhguru has the ultimate perception in this human world, as far as I've seen. No human being even comes close to his level of insight, his level of sensibility, his level of perception and insight. And that's exactly what I want to model. I'm doing everything that man is doing. I'm following his instructions and living life in accordance to him, because I want the same results as he has, or he does. So I'll pursue this path, this goal, this career, until I have full mastery over this whole inner system. And I'm claiming this on camera because I want to be held accountable to this, and I will make this happen, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, you mark my words, before I die, there will be a white man. There will be a white man that has mastery over the 7 chakras.